On Saturday night, June 26, 1982, in Lewiston, Idaho, a fisherman made a horrifying discovery near the mouth of the Grand Ron River and the Snake River. The decomposed body of a young man was pulled from the water at Heller Bar by Assateague County deputies. He'd been shot twice, once in the neck and once in the left shoulder. Detectives estimated the man had been in the water for 2 to 3 weeks before being found. However, the river's high levels from the spring runoff made it unclear where the body had entered the water. They theorized his remains could have floated in from the Salmon River, the Grand Ron, or further upstream in the Snake River. Despite extensive efforts, his identity remained a mystery, and he was buried in the Normal Hill Cemetery as River John Doe. Authorities estimated the young man's age to be between 18 and 22. He had dark hair, a 2-inch scar on his right ankle, and calloused palms, possibly indicating manual labor. He was found wearing Britannia jeans, blue swim trunks with red and white stripes, and white socks. Forensic evidence revealed that the weapon used in the murder was a rare Smith & Wesson .38 caliber 36 Centennial model, which hadn't been manufactured since 1967, and even then, only about 100 were made. Despite this distinctive detail, the investigation stalled, leaving the victim's identity and his killer unknown. An autopsy couldn't determine whether he had drowned or died from the gunshot wounds. A composite sketch was released to the public, but no leads surfaced for decades. In 2023, a breakthrough emerged through advancements in forensic genetic genealogy. With the help of Othram, investigators were able to identify the John Doe as 17-year-old Dwayne Searles, a soon-to-be Moscow High School senior who had gone missing in June of 1982. He and his friend, 18-year-old Michael Coffin, were traveling in his 1976 Datsun from Moscow to Boise when the vehicle veered off the road into the Salmon River near Riggins. Michael's body was recovered downstream shortly after the crash, but Dwayne was presumed to have drowned, and due to the high water and strong currents, divers were unable to conduct a thorough search. The fact that he was found with a gunshot wound makes this case even stranger and leaves one major question. Was he shot before the accident or after? Michael Coffin's specific cause of death has not been publicly disclosed. It is plausible that he succumbed to injuries from the crash or to drowning, but without detailed reports, the exact cause remains uncertain. What is clear is that Dwayne's death was no accident. Dwayne was murdered in June of 1982, and as of December 2024, this case remains unsolved. Donna Jean Awcock was born on March 7, 1966, to Bud and Carolyn, and grew up in London, Ontario. At just 17 years old, Donna was described as vivacious and caring, with a love for babysitting and playing baseball. She was known for her strong sense of responsibility and maintaining close relationships with her friends and neighbors. On the evening of October 13, 1983, Donna was babysitting at the Cheyenne Avenue Apartments in the Huron Heights neighborhood. Her family lived nearby, and her mother could see the building from their balcony. The apartment belonged to Michelle Maynard, and it was her kids who Donna was babysitting while she was out that night partying with friends nearby. At some point, Michelle ended up on Dundas Street at the Town and Country Bar, a place known for its drug use and less than savory characters. There, she sat at a table with a group of people, including a man she didn't know. He was described as being in his late 20s to 30s, with a slim build and average to tall height, with bushy eyebrows, a clean-shaven face, and sideburns. Witnesses reported that he may have been driving a light-colored Ford Torino. He wore cowboy boots, faded blue jeans, and a long-sleeved blue shirt. Michelle was very inebriated and accepted a ride home from the unknown man. On the way back to her apartment, they stopped and grabbed a pizza from a pizzeria a couple of miles away before continuing on. Once inside, she gave Donna money and asked her to walk to the nearby store and buy her some cigarettes. The clerk confirmed Donna made it to the store and bought cigarettes. A witness who personally knew Donna said she appeared upset and visibly nervous. She had even asked the clerk to use the phone, but they refused due to store policy. Was the unknown man following her and she wanted to call home for help? After leaving the store, Donna walked back into the rain, never to be seen alive again, and allegedly never made it back to the apartment where she was babysitting. Meanwhile, Michelle got tired of waiting and walked outside and noticed the unknown man was now gone, and there was no sign of Donna. So she walked to the store and bought cigarettes herself. The following morning, when Donna's family realized she hadn't returned home, her mother sent Donna's younger sister, Lora, to check on her at the apartment where she had been babysitting. Michelle claimed Donna had left the night before. Alarmed, Donna's family began knocking on doors and asking neighbors for information, but their search yielded no answers. Frustrated, her mother contacted the police, only to be told they had to wait 24 hours to file a missing person report, as Donna was classified as a runaway. Refusing to wait, Donna's family and neighbors organized their own search. Hours later, 2 boys walking their dog near the Fanshawe Conservation Area discovered Donna's lifeless body near a ravine by the Thames River, close to Fanshawe Dam. Her body had been thrown down an embankment, with her pants and shoes missing. Donna had sadly been sexually assaulted, beaten, and strangled to death. A small plastic Halloween bag had been stuffed into her mouth, a grim detail that remains one of the most significant clues in the case. From the start, the investigation faced significant setbacks. The delay in filing Donna's missing person report and jurisdictional disputes between local and provincial police caused critical time to be lost. While evidence, including DNA and fingerprints, was collected and preserved, forensic technology at the time was limited. Donna's murder bears unsettling similarities to other unsolved cases in London, Ontario, raising speculation about a potential connection to a series of violent crimes in the region. The location where her body was found, a known vice area, suggests the killer may have been familiar with its illicit activities. Despite advancements in DNA technology, the discovery of a partial fingerprint on the plastic bag, and preserved biological evidence, no conclusive match has been identified. Donna went missing on October 13, 1983, and as of December 2024, her murder remains unsolved. Hope Johnson was born and raised in Flint Township, Michigan, in a close-knit family that deeply valued their bond. Hope was known for her kind-hearted nature, her friendly demeanor, and her unwavering devotion to her loved ones. Despite facing challenges in life, she maintained an optimistic outlook and was always willing to help others in need. At 23 years old, she lived in Flint Township and was 8 months pregnant when she strangely went missing. Her boyfriend reported her missing on February 2, 1988, and said the last time he saw her was on January 29th. Before she went missing, she was known for walking around on Flint's east and south sides and was typically seen alone. Those who frequently saw her said she often wore the same white ski jackets, white pants, and off-white snow boots. Searches for her turned up nothing until March 12th, when a man out walking his dog behind the Evergreen Cleaners on Bristol Road found her partially clothed body. She had sadly been beaten to death, and her unborn daughter died as a result. Around 60 persons of interest were interviewed, but sadly, nothing led to her killer. Years later, with advancements in forensic technology, the evidence collected from the crime scene was re-examined, but so far a suspect has not been identified. Hope was murdered in early 1988, and as of December 2024, her case remains unsolved. On April 18, 1984, a grisly discovery shattered the peace of Altoona, Florida. Deep in the Lake Door Recreation Area, about a quarter mile off Highway 19, skeletal remains were found scattered by animals along a dirt road. The body, decomposed beyond recognition, belonged to a woman who had been dead for 2 to 4 weeks. With no means of identifying her, the townspeople called her Jane Altoona Doe, 1984, but investigators soon nicknamed her Judy Doe, based on an unsettling account from a local man. The man, Michael Ronning, claimed to have known the young woman before her death. He said she had introduced herself as Judy, a hitchhiker traveling from California. Disturbingly, Ronning was also the one who discovered her remains, a coincidence that made investigators suspicious about his involvement in the case. Judy was estimated to be between 17 and 20 years old, standing just 5 feet tall and weighing approximately 100 pounds. She had light brown, fine, straight hair and coral or orange-painted fingernails. Her left ear was pierced, though no earring was found. She was missing her 2 upper teeth, and several others were stained reddish-purple, likely due to tetracycline exposure or a condition like dentinogenesis imperfecta. She wore Wrangler blue jeans, a long nightshirt with the phrase, "Have you kissed your child tonight?" a black t-shirt reading, "Here Comes Trouble," and tan canvas slip-on shoes with blue trim. Around her neck, she wore a simple 15-inch metal chain. Her attire and lack of personal belongings suggested she was living a transient life, yet her identity remained a mystery. Michael Ronning, the drifter who claimed to have known Judy and discovered her body, quickly became a person of interest. He passed a polygraph, but as y'all know, they are not very reliable and are not admissible in court. In February 2002, nearly 20 years after her death, Dateline NBC aired a segment about Ronning. Their investigation brought new attention to his possible connection to Judy's murder, uncovering a traffic ticket that was issued to him one day before her remains were found. This prompted Lake County detectives to revisit his potential involvement, but despite this renewed focus, the case still failed to progress. They do at least have her DNA, fingerprints, and dental records, but so far no matches have been made. There is now hope that forensic genetic genealogy might solve the mystery of who Judy was, but as of December 2024, she has not been identified, and this case remains unsolved. At 28 years old, Lora Leigh McIntire lived in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and was the devoted mother of a 6-year-old daughter. She was described as a petite woman standing between 5'2" and 5'4", with brown, wavy hair, green eyes, and a distinctive appearance marked by scars on her right arm and abdomen. On the evening of March 8, 1990, Lora was out at the Elm Tree Bar. After leaving, she was never heard from again. That night, she was wearing a black and red shirt, blue jeans, and gray shoes. Little is known about the circumstances of Lora's disappearance beyond her last known location. Despite investigative efforts, no substantial leads have ever been uncovered, and her case remains one of the countless unsolved mysteries. However, her disappearance has drawn eerie parallels to other cases in the area. In 1999, 9 years after Lora vanished, Kitty Wyanette Simpson went missing from Cool Daddy's Bar, another establishment nearby. Then, in 2005, the remains of Anastasia Gail Runningwolf were discovered in an area close to both the Elm Tree Bar and Cool Daddy's. All 3 locations, the Elm Tree Bar, Cool Daddy's, and where Anastasia was found, are within a 1-mile walking distance of one another. These unsettling connections raise questions about whether the disappearances may be linked. Lora's family and loved ones have spent decades grappling with the unanswered questions surrounding her disappearance. Her DNA is available for comparison against unidentified remains, but no match has been found. Despite the passage of time, law enforcement continues to hold out hope that advancements in technology or new information could bring closure to her case. Lora went missing on March 8, 1990, and as of December 2024, this case remains unsolved.